information. At the airport information. Okay, great.
What do? Well, we're here. We're here in London. We just got to room 543. Julie went in the bathroom, and she doesn't know I started taking some shots of the room. It's really a nice room. I'm going to pause and take a look out the window. I'm going to try the zoom. Oh, that works good. Looking out our window of our hotel. Just got here. Haven't been here more than 5 minutes. It's a very old building across the way. Looks like they're renovating it. Whoa. Oh, the glass. We had a nice ride in from the airport on a very nice Travelers International minibus.
Hi there.
Hi, Julie. Can you believe we're here?
No, we just got to our lovely hotel room. I just came out of the ballroom where my ballroom.
Did you go?
Yeah, I went, and I'm hot and tired. I want to go to sleep, but I'm not going to because there's lots to do out there. And I don't know if I brought enough money with me, but whatever I brought, I'm going to spend because there's tons of shopping to do.
What time is it here?
Here is like 5 minutes to 11 in the morning. And we haven't slept like all night because they served us breakfast 3 hours after dinner.
I'm going to pan the room. Look at our cute beds, everybody.
We had dinner, then we had a movie, then we had breakfast. That's just the way they do it, I guess.
Well, they served breakfast because it was morning, not because anyone was hungry, right?
Well, they ought to know. We just had dinner 3 hours prior.
But it was a little small dinner. Jenny Craig dinner, you called it.
I was full.
That's just because we're all constipated.
These are lovely windows, so I can figure out how to open them.
I figured it.
Are these what's called bay windows?
No.
French doors?
Oh, I guess the clock does work. There's a notice that says the clock doesn't work, but I suppose it does. Maybe just the alarm doesn't work. Anyway, I'm just experimenting with the camera and telling everyone we're here. We're here. We're here. Oh, I'm going to pan over to the closet. Julie Open that big closet so they can see. Look,
Hangers, shelves,
that's better than
Pillows.
stuff at home, guys.
TV with a remote by the bed. Table for
TV.
tea. Matching curtains.
I'm shutting off because I'm getting tired.
Oh, take a look out the window.
I did. Wait, get back in my square. And wave goodbye for now.
Bye for now. We'll be back after we do something else.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is my joke. I know she's in the United States, but it's my joke, you see. You know, I know it's not very funny, but I don't know, there's always one, isn't there? I've seen you on television, haven't I? Yeah, interference. You're not supposed to know more than me. All right, we just paused here on the Serpentine Bridge. Thank you, Dennis. On the right, this is the Serpentine. This is the lake, called the Serpentine. And gradually, as we edge along, you'll see in the distance, in the centre, the twin towers of Westminster Abbey. We're going in there later. And the large tower with the flagpole on top is part of the biggest gas factory in Europe. There. And you can always tell a member of the all-year-round club. They're always all the same colour. Look, there are people here on my wavelength. You need therapy. I do want to say, by the way, it is absolutely delightful to have one of the colonies over here. I mean that most sincerely. And just think, had it not been for that altercation in Boston all those years ago, all this could have been yours. Maybe you're not interested. Hyde Park is the park to our right. Kensington Gardens becomes Hyde Park. And you'll see the riding track running along there. That's the North Ride. There's something like 6 miles of riding track in Hyde Park. Talking of Peter Pan, as I was just now, the other side, over in Kensington Gardens, strange people, they buried all their little dogs, little pooches in there. And my mum is really upset because she was hoping to have me buried in there too, but it's now chock-a-block. It's full up. There's no room anymore. Chock-a-block, yeah. Of course, I keep forgetting, 2 countries divided by a common language, aren't we? Now, we're just going around the one-way system here, and I'm delighted to see that Dennis is going the correct way around the one-way system. That always helps. On the right here, we're going around what's called the Royal Lancaster Hotel. And it's called the Royal Lancaster Hotel because the Queen has many titles, and one of them is Duke Nylons. They weren't wearing the nylons, you understand. Now, across there in Hyde Park, on your right, back in 1851, we held what's called the Great Exhibition. This was a trades exhibition. It was an exhibition that was the dream of Prince Albert, Victoria's husband, and half of the exhibits in this trade exhibition came from our great British Empire that we had in the last century, whatever happened to that, and half came from other countries around the world. You had your exhibit too, but you know, your Congress failed to vote the money for it originally, and in the end, a man called George Peabody, do you know how highwayman is? He'd ride around on his horse, his mask, his pistol. He'd hold up the coach and say, "Stand and deliver your money or your life." Jack Shepherd was a bit of a naughty guy, actually. If there was a particularly attractive lady in the coach, he'd do a deal. He'd say, "I'll tell you what, darling," because he spoke just like that. "I'll tell you what, darling, give me half your jewels and a quick kiss and cuddle." So you give me a quick kiss and cuddle, and only take half your jewels. What do you do, girls, eh? Ask him to take his mask off first, I suppose. Anyway, when he was hanged up here, people turned up in their thousands. And you know, he pickpocketed the preacher who was standing by to give confession. And we have on record, what do you think he found? Prayer book? Cross? No. Corkscrew. He died with a corkscrew and is kicking his heels. Now, people say rather cruelly that he built it too narrow for the state coach. Here it is on your right now. But you know we Brits never get things wrong, so that can't be true, can it? I think the real... There's, up to your right, there's the statue of Eros. In fact, they put him back after they repaired his leg, and he's really facing the wrong way. He should be firing his shaft or arrow in the other direction, up Shaftesbury Avenue. But not to worry. Shaftesbury Avenue up to the left, one of our major theatre streets. Now, if you duck down and look up high to your left, you'll see the Rock Circus. Diana Ross, Buddy Holly, Elton John. Oh. Will he return, I wonder? That's part of Madame Tussauds waxworks. The major Madame Tussauds waxworks, all its famous effigies, is on Marylebone Road near Baker. The sun god, the idea being the horses pull the sun across the sky every day. And talking of horses, it's quite apt because we're now in the Haymarket. Up until about 150 years ago, there was a hay and straw market here. And you know, at that time, they were frightened of the horses clogging up the streets of London. Well, not the horses, what the horses kept leaving behind. They couldn't clear it away quickly enough. But of course, they needn't have worried because the car superseded the horse. And now we have the streets clogged up by cars. I think I'd like to have the horses back. At least it's lucky if you tread in it. As we go down the Haymarket, on your left, as we come round here, on the right, you're going to see an equestrian statue. There he is, George III, the last, with Nelson way up high on top, the most decorated admiral in British naval history. The pigeons, see to that. What I'll do, when I tell a joke, I'll put my right hand up, okay? It is the pigeons. It is the pigeons. Too early for corn, thank you, madam. It is the pigeons that are light on Nelson's head that makes it white. The square is laid out to celebrate the victory at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, when Nelson defeated the combined French and Spanish fleets. But he lost his life, the moment of victory, when he was shot by a French sniper on board HMS Victory. That's true. I'm not telling you lies. It's true. Now, if you glance down through the arches to your right, you'll get your first glimpse of Buckingham Palace, where our Queen is at the end. But we'll be going down there later on today. Is that true? About 3 hours to come in and 4 hours to go out. And high tide can be a difference of anything between 18 and 24 feet. So it's a fair old tide. The building across to your left with a little green tower on it is the GLC, the Greater London Council building. It was our left-wing local council. But of course our government is right-wing, so they abolished it in 1986. We don't have a local council in London anymore. The Japanese have now bought the building. The Japanese haven't really arrived in the States yet, have they? That's why I think she was the first lady driver. This is all very silly, childish stuff, but you know, it keeps me amused anyway. Now, in a minute, we're going to go into Westminster Abbey, and you may not have listened to a single thing I've said to you up until now. That's your prerogative. You're on vacation, you do what you like. But what I say to you now is very important. When we go into the Abbey, there is no photography.
Hi. We're here at Westminster Abbey, but we can't go in there
course, the man who said, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life. But London has everything that life can afford. Whether you can afford it or not, of course, is another matter. Now, these buildings on the left is the Royal Courts of Justice, our civil law courts. And that's your appearing in court sort of thing. So they're mostly business photographers, they would be. We have 266. On the right, in the middle of the road now, a monument called, because the wooden houses, and they were so close to each other. In the end, Charles II, who was on the throne at that time in 1666, went with his brother, the Duke of York, the future James II, into the city and blew up houses in the path of the fire to create a fire break. The wind also dropped. So after 5 days, the fire went out. But it had destroyed the city. There was hardly any of the city left. And they asked a man called Sir Christopher Wren to rebuild the city. And he rebuilt 51 of the 87 churches, including St. Bride's, that we pointed out earlier, the Wedding Cake Church. He built that. But his pride and joy, of course, was St. Paul's Cathedral. Now, Westminster Abbey took hundreds of years.
Let me see, it was started in 1852 when he died, and it was completed finally in 1912. So that's 60 years. But the real problem, you see, was the top. There's a horse. There is the Duke on his horse, Copenhagen. And when they talked about putting a horse statue in a church, oh, dreadful. So there was a great debate and controversy for many years. Eventually, John Tweed completed the monument in 1912. Copenhagen, when he died, had a full military honours funeral. He's not buried downstairs, of course, by the way. He's buried out in the countryside, near Stratford-on-Sea, the Duke of Wellington's country house. So, the Duke of Wellington. Let's move on. Right. First thing I'd like you to do is look up. Earlier. But what you're looking at now, from the inside, is not that dirt. Because Christopher Wren believed in beauty through geometry. He's a very clever man. And he knew that if he left the outer dome to also be the inner one, you with me, you'd be looking up into a funnel. In fact, what he did, he built 3 domes in one there. The outer dome, which is wood covered in lead, you saw earlier, the bridge. Inner one, which is 2 bricks thick, painted what is called mosaic, sort of greyish type of paint. And then, on top of that is like an inverted cone that supports the lantern, which is the ball and cross, way up through the middle. It's like 3 domes in one. It weighs 64,000 tons, and it's 365 feet from where we are now to the cross, the ball and cross, on top. People around him. If you look at the ironwork either side, he had a French Huguenot called Jean Tijoux with all his ironwork, Protestant. But whenever new craft was done here, they tried to gel it with the old. And you wouldn't really know the difference. Now earlier I mentioned about the bombing and the fact that the St. Paul's Fire Watch were very lucky to survive. Bomb fell from North Transept. The North Transept is here. And if you look up what is called the saucer dome, which is that very shallow dome in the roof there, you'll notice it is white in the centre, and around the outside there is no gilding, it's still white. But if you look across to the right, you'll see there the saucer dome, and the ceiling over there is white in the centre, but around the outside it is gilded. And they purposely left that one to the left ungilded to remind us of the bomb fell there. And talking of bombing and the Second World War, this is where our great Second World War leader Winston Churchill had his funeral. He's not buried here, he's buried out in Blaydon in Oxfordshire, about 50 miles out of London, near where he was born at Blenheim Palace. But his funeral was here, and there is an inscription, which we'll walk across very shortly, which reminds us that is where his catapult rested, the catapult thing that held his coffin, rested in January 1965. Now,
We're in St. Paul's Cathedral. This is a little tourist area. Let's see who else is here famous. Oh, wait. Three saints.
To all those 28,000 Americans who gave their lives in the Second World War, being based here, actually dying in this country, or applying for bases in this country. 28,000. I forget how much money was needed to be raised, but we decided it wasn't going to be a government grant that paid for it. It was going to be money from members of the British public. So they launched this appeal. They didn't know how long it would take to get the money. We couldn't know, so the British public would pay for it. And within 24 hours, we had the money. I think it says something about how we felt about what people had done for us. When you go in there, you'll find a book, Roll of Honour, which was given by President Eisenhower. Sure enough, his body was fine. He had a smile on his face. But he didn't become cardinal dancing. He was right down the end of until Henry VIII decided he wanted to break away from the Roman Catholic Church to divorce Catholic America. Also then there was paintings, seen Dublin soldiers with the wedding area down here. But we now have to go back upstairs.
Det var helt anderledes. Mange gør det der.
Holiday and get early in the morning.
Okay.
We said in the east it was what, over 100 over.
Well, I was very from state to state.
I heard on the radio that it was
Areas, of course, in California.
It's only 20 some odd people left. Yeah, no, they're finding more.
New Mexico. And all the same.
Well, what can you do? You just have to go with the flow. Yeah, you do. I'm lucky,
Yeah.
Neil said they're going to march in front of us, so we'll get pictures. Did you enjoy your breakfast?
Right.
Yeah.
What else do you like
Coleslaw?
Oh, there's
A guy on a horse. This is a guy on a horse.
Oh.
and the new one is still to come. And then they'll change. So I don't think
Well, I mean, average.
Are you going to walk in the camera?
all right.
Turn around and wave. Keep walking. See you later. Where are they coming from? Oh, okay. They're coming from here, Julie. Not around, they're coming from that way. Squeeze in to get a picture or two. Yeah, I'm aiming. I think I'm aiming between the two things. You're not in my way at all. No one is. There's Julie. Julie in the red coat. Now watch this.
He like goes down and rubs on him. You should just put it there. You should see that I'm
That's all.